afternoon, and welcome. Welcome indeed to another edition of the Panthers Report right here on the Mark Moses Show as we go over all things Florida Tech athletics. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had a great time talking swimming, volleyball, soccer, but now we got to talk to a very, very nice lady who is the new women's head basketball coach at Florida Tech. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring her on, and I'm going to let her pronounce her name because I know people probably screw it up all the time. So, Coach, how you doing today, and how do we pronounce the name? Let's go there.
My name is Ashley Raley-Ross, and thank you, Mark, for having me today.
I appreciate coming on. So, all right, just do it one more time. Is it Raley-Ross or Raley-Ross for our fans?
Raley-Ross.
Raley-Ross. Okay. Do people screw that up from time to time when they see it?
All the time, and it's okay.
Yeah, they screw up my name. It's very easy. I have a very biblical first and last name. Screw it up all the time. Don't worry. It's okay. Let's start with the obvious. I met you at that opening press conference a couple months ago. I know you're excited. It's been a couple months. Are you still excited to be the new women's head basketball coach at Florida Tech?
Definitely very excited and very grateful for every day that I get to go to work.
When you got the call, what was that like? Or tell us about the interview process. What was it like going through that into becoming the new head coach?
Well, my interview process was really different because I was in Indonesia. I was my season at Wofford had ended, and my husband plays professionally. So I had arranged during our season that when we would end, I would go visit him and get a chance to see him. So actually everything kind of happened virtually, which is unheard of, and I'm really grateful for. So, I was over there visiting him and did the process, and it was a 12-hour time difference. So, challenging, but all worth it because it all worked out for me and for Florida Tech.
Were you interviewing at 3:00 in the morning, Indonesia time? Is that what was happening?
Yes. Yes. I was trying to get naps in during the day because I knew I had to stay up till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So, and try to be quiet for my husband who was preparing for games and practice. So, but it all worked out. It all went smoothly.
What excited you about the opportunity? Since you've been an assistant coach, former player, what excited about you about the opportunity to be a head coach at Florida Tech then?
Well, just to lead my own program was really exciting to be able to do, to be a part of something that's bigger than myself. And Florida doesn't hurt. So, and then just knowing like to be able to recruit my type of players and help young women get good education at Florida Tech, and just being able to lead your own program is a dream.
What did you take out of your last stop, Watford, like you said, as an assistant? What did you take out of that experience?
I learned so much from that staff and from Coach Garrity. He really helped teach me a lot about the recruiting. And, I went with him a lot on our recruiting trips during the summer. I felt really lucky to be paired and just learn what he looked for, character. And he really taught me a lot as far as like developing the players within the system. So, and he gave me the opportunity to do something that I'm really passionate about, which is be on the court with our players. So I'm very grateful for that time at Wofford.
Well, like that interview you had with, the athletic director, the school there at Florida Tech, I want you to kind of say that to our fans right now who are watching this or listening. What style of basketball? We'll get to academics in a second. Let's talk X's and O's here. What style of basketball do you want to play at Florida Tech?
Well, I want us to share the ball. I want us to be selfless. And so I want to play fast, pitch ahead, and really just make the one more pass. And I really want us to enjoy playing. Practice has been a lot of fun. They get really excited when they make the one more pass. So I just want that to translate to the game for us and for our fans.
What about defense? Can we play defense as well, Coach?
Oh no, we definitely work on some defense every single day. So it's been challenging to get our principals in, and so but our players are buying in, and they don't like some of the drills we do. So I get some faces, but it's kind of like an inside joke, like they know the time is here. We got to do the work. So let's just get through the drill. So
I talked with your men's program last week, and he was discussing this idea of all the different players he had to bring in on a short notice. What's this process been like with you? How many players did you have to bring in, or how many players came back for this new season?
Well, we kept 8 players from this past season, and then we brought in 5. So we have a total of 13 players on our team. So I mean, that process was a little challenging because when you're recruiting someone, it just feels right. And when it feels right, I'm like, okay, we want to zero in on this young woman. It just feels good. I want to be her coach. And I wanted them to fit the 8 returners we were bringing or we were keeping, because they deserve to have a good locker room. They deserve to enjoy who the new coach is bringing in. So I wanted it, culture is important for young women. They got to like each other in the locker room. So that was our number one thing. Do these newbies fit the personality of our returners?
How important is communication then for your basketball team?
Oh, I tell them all the time, communication rules the nation. I literally just said that yesterday in practice. So, we will stop practice if it's not loud enough. We really harp on, be loud, let your teammates know what you're doing, and not just on the court, but off the court. We want to know if you need help, what's going on, how can we help you, how can you help your teammates. So communication rules for us.
I think it's fascinating how you brought up relationships are key as well. You're absolutely right where, hey, you got to pass me the ball, right? It's interesting you say we got to make that extra pass. Is that hard though as a coach? Hey, got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
It's definitely hard, but I think if you just don't give them any choice other than this is our culture, this is what we expect. And, I tell my assistant coach every day, I'm like, I feel really lucky for who we have on our team right now because they're completely bought into what we want them to do as a unit. And it's not just 4 players here buying in and then 3 over here partially buying in. They're really bought into wanting to win, wanting to do things differently, and wanting to be one big unit on the court.
What type of player do you look for now moving forward at Florida Tech that you want to try to recruit to play for the Panthers?
Well, most importantly, they need to be a good person. I cannot teach them to be a good person. So that is what we look for first. How they respect their coaches, how they respect their teammates, if they're constantly looking in the stands, those type of things. And then the second thing is that their grades, because we don't want to chase anyone down to go to class. If I have to chase you down to go to class at Florida Tech, you're not going to be successful there. And we want to set the young women up for success.
I like it. And look, there's great academics at Florida Tech, so you better go to class. All right, Coach?
Yes, for sure.
Are you guys right now in fall practice? Like, how's everything going? What time do you guys practice? What's the latest, Coach?
We are in official practice, so that's been fun and exciting. We practice early in the morning right now. So, with our majors, it's some of our students have later classes in the afternoon. So it's just better to wake up. I tell them to eat the worm. Early bird gets the worm and we get at it. And then they have the rest of their day. If they need to come by the office, we're there. So we practice pretty early.
Okay. What do you mean early? 6 a.m.? What are we talking?
Tomorrow practice is starting at 5:30 a.m.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. All right. Coach, what time do you have to be at the Clemente Center if it's 5:30 for the I can't even say I'm not laughing. I'm sorry. I'm not doing 5:30, Coach. I can't do it.
You know what? Once I thought the same thing, but now that we're flowing, I'm like, okay, I look forward to it. And if we have an off day, I'm like, I'm still up at the same time. So I'm like, my body's used to it by now. But if we have practice at 5:30, I'm normally at the gym between 4 and 4:15, just making sure my assistant and we like to meet before practice to make sure we're on the same page about the drills that we're doing, our expectations, and just make sure that we're down there around the players so they know that we are doing the same thing they're doing. We expect of ourselves what we expect of them.
I have never driven around the campus of Florida Tech at 4 o'clock in the morning. I imagine it's you, your assistants, maybe the security guard. Did they give you a key for the front door? How's this working, Coach?
We have a nice little scan card that lets us in.
I like it. I do. What do you want to accomplish then in this fall practice to get you ready then for the new season?
I think the biggest thing is we're trying to do everything together. Help skill develop and build together. So lots of shooting drills, doing things together. Sometimes we would separate and break them up into 2 groups. So right now we're not doing that because we want that chemistry. We really want them to play with each other and we really want them to know each other on and off the court.
Do you look at it as a marathon this season from the standpoint of like, look, we're not going to be at 100% right now. And let's wait till we get to conference play. Like, how do you try to look at a new season of how long it is?
Day by day. I take it day by day, every day. So, this is what we've done today, and how can I build on it for the players tomorrow? And whether that be in practice, whether that be in film, whether that be in academic meetings, how can we build to be better tomorrow? And we constantly talk about in our huddles, like, this is the foundation we're setting and we're building on it every single day. So 1% better. And we talk about end goals, but the end goal means nothing if we don't do the work every day.
I'm very big on, as a guy that covers the sport, if it's high school, college, NBA, I like seeing a team play at the beginning of the year, and then I like to see them play like in February or March and see the progress they make. Is that fair if I make that analysis of a team from the beginning to that stretch run like that?
For sure, definitely. If we haven't improved, then I don't think I'm not doing my job. Something in my job is not being done. So I definitely, throughout the season, our season is long. So as we go, we will improve.
Okay. Well, the follow-up to that question then is, what's with the schedule? You guys are not home in November? What happened, Coach? What is this?
Some of the schedule was made before I took over. So I didn't really have, I was able to have a say in some of the games that we added, but some of that was already there. So, we're just looking forward to, November 6th is our first game. It's an exhibition. And then we're looking forward to November 14th, which is an away game again. And then we'll get to December.
Is it one of those things where it could be a bonding experience where you guys are road warriors and you learn to play each other away from your home courts?
Definitely. And, a lot of experiences for me as a player, a lot of those memories come from the road games, the bus rides, the traveling, the staying in the hotels with my teammates. So I am grateful that we get to experience that, because that's team bonding, not even by choice that we have, so I think it'll be fun. We have some fun things planned for them on the road.
Okay. How long, Coach, have we been in Melbourne now since you got the job?
I was officially down here at the end of April, so officially moved in.
Okay. So you are still, we were joking about this off the air. We're here with Coach. She's getting ready for a new season of Florida Tech women's basketball. All right. You've been here a couple of months. You're recruiting players. Have you gotten 5 minutes to find where the grocery store is at? What's going on, Coach? We need to know.
I found several, but I just don't know which one I like. So I just go to whatever is closest on my way home.
I like that. That's a great answer. In the recruiting process, do you show the students the water? What have we done so far to try to sell them on Florida Tech?
For us, we want them to experience Florida Tech. So we try to introduce them to our players. We take them on the tour of the campus. We eat with them in the dining hall. Our dining hall is wonderful. Florida is known for its beaches, but I don't want that to be the reason you come here. I want you to come here for the campus, the academics, the staff, the basketball, your teammates that are going to be your lifelong friends, hopefully.
That is really cool. It's a great answer, because I tell that to people as well in my line of work. Yeah, you can move to Florida. You have to go to work. You have to. Yeah. No one's paying for you to just have fun here. You need to work on what you're going to do. All right, let's learn a little more about Coach here for the Panthers Report. All right, Coach, where are you from originally?
I am from Charlotte, North Carolina, so a little town called Indian Trail. It's right on the outside of Charlotte.
Do you still have family in the Charlotte area?
Yes, my father still lives there. My mother has relocated up north in Chapel Hill, which is also where my brother lives. My younger sister just graduated from UNC Charlotte, so she stayed in Charlotte after graduation. And then I have another younger sister who attends Appalachian State.
That is very nice. And then, did you play college basketball yourself?
I did play at Queen's University of Charlotte, so I didn't go too far from home.
Well, that is very cool. All right. What position did we play for basketball?
I was a shooting guard. I'm still a shooter.
Oh, you're still a shooter. So if your players, if they challenge you, you'll be ready to go to beat them in a 3-point shootout.
I'm always ready. They know I'm always ready.
So do you have the basketball in the car at any moment if anyone challenges you? You're ready.
There is a basketball and some basketball sneakers in my trunk. Always. After you played in college, did you play professionally anywhere? No, I did not play professionally. I immediately was thrown into coaching and did not, my college coach knew that I was a coach before I knew I was a coach. And so she put me in a position to coach. And I thought it was something I was just doing short term. And here I am many, many years later.
So what was that? What was the first job in coaching you had where you actually got paid to do it professionally?
Actually got paid. Yeah. Cause that was a volunteer job, which I just loved. Actually got paid. I was an assistant coach. Actually, I became a varsity head coach, the varsity head coach the junior varsity, head coach stepped down, and, I was her assistant, and then they placed me in the head coaching position for my first coaching job like that, at my alma mater, Providence Day in Charlotte.
Do you hold that first team? Do you cherish them? That was the first team you ever coached.
Yes, and I still have relationships with some of those young women on that team. And I think about some of the things as a coach, because I was still a player, and it was junior varsity, so they were enjoying the time, but I wanted to win. And so now I'm just like, I talked to some of those players who are now older and they are married with children. And I'm like, I am so sorry. So, but they're still talking to me. So,
but also with your coaching career, you've been all around the world. Is this correct? What are the countries you have coached in?
I have coached in Estonia, I've coached in Croatia, and I've coached in Hong Kong.
That is amazing. I have lived in 5 states, but never in another country. Was that scary for you at first to leave behind everything and go across the pond, across even Hong Kong, and coaching the sport that you love?
Well, luckily I was with my husband. So I think that was like a cheat code, because I was still scared. I was leaving, what I was the norm, but I had him. So it made it a lot easier. And I've been lucky to be surrounded by really good people in the places that I've lived overseas. And, Hong Kong was amazing because I worked with a great coach over there, Coach Dora Yum, who I'm still in contact with. Like, she's been a great mentor for me, and she really took care of me and my husband over there.
How many languages can you speak now?
Yeah, no, I know a lot of basketball terms.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes.
That's the answer. I had to put you on the spot because you were in all these different countries. I had to know if you could speak any of them. It's okay. I completely understand. But isn't it cool how the sport of basketball has taken you to all these places you probably never would have gone to unless you had basketball?
Yes, definitely. I'm very thankful for the Orange Ball, and I talk about that a lot. It's taken me all over the world. It's given me a lot of close relationships. It's helped me build a lot of friendships. So I'm very thankful.
I want to note that today is, October 15th. I like your voice is completely full and strong. I want to come back to you around January and hear what because you'll get the coach voice, right? Where it starts getting all scraggly. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Lots of honey and tea.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're busy with fall camp right now. Good luck on the new season, and I hope I can get you on again. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.